Daily Fail. Our guide to the best Black Friday bargains. Our guide to get you to spend money that you can't afford on stuff that you don't really need. That's all it's about, really. Today's the day you can enter our 100,000 murder mystery game. So, you know, we're going to dangle a little carrot in front of you just to keep you in the game so that you don't start having any independent thought of your own. Gridlock UK. How Britons waste up to 6 minutes per mile in ever worsening road jams. Well, that'll be by design, by the way that the roads are designed. For instance, junction 24 of the M1 roundabout used to be a roundabout, worked perfect. Okay, yeah, you got a few delays as you do at roundabouts in peak time. So what they decided to do was put traffic lights all around it and make the A50 come across, and rather than going round the roundabout, cut into the roundabout and cut across there, which makes absolute mayhem, chaos, which is something they actually love, as you all know. The road problems are caused by design, by the councils, by the government to frustrate us all. That's all it's about. And so if you find yourself in a jam, put a smile on your face and think, you're not getting to me, you piece of shit. And down the bottom there, what do they know? Bookies stopped taking bets on parasitical scum engagement. Well, they know that the parasitical scum are after taking more money off us because they realise that we have to actually, at the moment, we need it to survive. Whereas they never use it at all, but they know how powerful it is. The Times, the best property pull-out. Well, we all know where the best properties are. We're not going to. There's something to do with cricket and adverts fund paedophile habits. Absolutely. Look at Parliament. I'll say no more on that. Workers face 2 decades of pay freezes. What's that smell? Oh yeah, it's bullshit. Pay freezes only apply to the poor, because if ever any corporation, oh, we're freezing your pay because we've got no money. Look at the CEO. Oh yeah, he's just getting a 50% pay increase because he's done such a good job. In actual fact, the way he's funded that is by freezing all your lot's wages. Compulsory helmets planned for our cyclists. We've got to take more control, said the government. We have to make them realise that we're in charge, and if they don't do as they're told, we're going to fine them. Because, oh wait, promises of fines or forfeitures before being taken to court are illegal and void. But they don't know about that. They weren't paying attention at the time. You notice it's paying attention. Just a word, and something to do with the soldier or whatever it was that tried to kill his wife by cutting her shoots. That's the way it is, I guess. But he's apparently, I'll get to this in a minute because it comes up in another paper in a bit later. Jim Carrey, depression doesn't down me anymore. He's had an epiphany. He's come out in the papers recently and said some things that, to those that don't see what's going on, may seem peculiar or odd, but because what he's realised, it does seem odd, but it's not. He's finally becoming aware of what's going on. Oh, of course, I've got to say, or do, should I say? Biggest fall in living standards for a generation. Well, you could have knocked me down with a feather. They finally realise what we've all known for a long time. Makes you wonder why we buy these things, doesn't it? The Guardian. UK facing lost 2 decades of wage growth. Think tank predicts slowdown will lead to prolonged period of austerity. Austerity, it's just their word for robbery. That's all it means. We're going to be robbing you some more, but we're going to if we call it daylight robbery, you'd go, wait a minute. So what we'll do, we'll think up another word. We'll call it austerity, and that way, because they're so dumb, not you lot, of course, but the general population, or at least this is what they think. because they're so dumb, they'll just say, oh, it's austerity. It's not the government's fault. It's not the mind controller's fault. It's not the council's fault. It's austerity, because we don't want them figuring out that it's all us, because they might come and hold us to account. We're coming. Ryanair warns crew over scratch card sales. Well, I guess he's upset someone, and so they're going to put him in the paper and try and poo-poo him as best they can. Daily Star. We'll go straight into the main one. Ant's wife fight night. Lisa's pals in bust up after filming Strictly. So let's just look through this, shall we? Ant's wife, and that must be the Lost in the Jungle or whatever it's shit they're talking about now's wife. And it's nothing to do with her. It's her pals that had a disagreement after filming Strictly. So it's TV. But after filming Strictly, two pals, alleged pals of her, who's the wife of Ant. Me, are they really scratching? They can't think up any story. So they have to dig as deep as they can to try and find one. And this is the main story in this waste of space. I messed up Jack. Don't know what that's about. Don't give a jack. Brits new floody hell. Okay. So I guess there's going to be some rain or been some rain. I wonder if that's due to the chemtrails. What do you think? The Daily Telegraph. I find this interesting, but this story's on a different page, so I don't get to read it. But it's probably just bull as usual. I wee wee. The name of itself's got to be worth a laugh. I wee wee. I'll start again. I wee wee. It's my job to create problems. So he works for the parasites then, doesn't he? Nothing much else up there. Daily Telegraph, if I've not said that already. Main headline underneath that: May bid to break Brexit impasse. We'll play on the Brexit, even though there's no Brexit, and even when we do give them a Brexit, it won't be Brexit. It'll be called a Brexit, but it won't be a Brexit. But they're too dumb to suss that. The fact that we tell them there is a Brexit, even though there's not going to be a Brexit, most of them will take it. Although we do have a problem, because a lot are saying, what Brexit? Yeah. PM to tell Brussels she is prepared to increase divorce bill offer to get trade talks moving. It's almost like it's all about the money. Just next to that, Mortuaries have sent wrong body 25 times. So I guess there, what you should be doing is making sure you always have an open casket. Make sure it's who's the right body in there that you're going to. And then, of course, after that, after you go to the funeral, you'll then go to the wake. Wake? That's something that a ship leaves behind it as it travels through the water. And, of course, you're going to someone's funeral, so they're already dead, but you're going to wake. Are you waking the dead? And the big picture there, two blokes and two young girls. Of course, Michael and Obama. And then next to that, switch off cameras in smart toys, parents told. And then it goes on to say about, because they could be hacked. Bull. I'll tell you what that's about. It's because it's going to be used for exactly what it's going to be used for, which is spying on your kids and you. But bearing in mind how these scumbags work, they have to tell you, even in an obscure way, what they're doing. And they've told you they're going to be spying on you with these toys and phones and everything. And if you're too dumb to see it, not their problem. They've told you. And I've just clarify that a bit more, parents should turn off the cameras and automatic tracking devices in their children's Christmas presents because of the risk of hacking. The Information Commissioner's Office has warned. They've told you. This one's quite interesting, actually. Jury hits out at judge's warning over bullying. And I'm going to read you a bit of this. The jury in the case of an army sergeant accused of trying to murder his wife, remember I said we'd get back to it, by tampering with her parachute, was discharged yesterday after hitting out at a judge who had warned them against bullying. Mr. Justice Sweeney, he's a mister, and he's supposed to be a justice, had spoken to the jury after 2 members were discharged with stress-related illness, but the remaining jury members have now hit back, accusing the judge of attacking their integrity. Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. You mean there's judges that are corrupt? Because that's what reading between the lines it says. And if you want to see that, go to any court in the country and you'll see the judges being corrupt. Or maybe this jury actually realise they have the power. The judge's job is to just sit there, clarify points of law and not interfere. Well, there was a case I may have been involved with a couple of years ago where I'd been arrested for all sorts of bullshit, and the judge, this is just hearing after the arrest to decide what to do with us, the judge actually ordered the CPS to up the charges on us. The judge isn't allowed to do that because he's supposed to be there to judge, hear what's said, listen to the jury, decide, and when they've made their decision, give them points of law, that sort of thing. But he ordered the CPS to up the charges. Sorry, you're not allowed to do that. But he did it anyway. I'm going to put this on as well. Little caption there. Black Friday deals. I found Brexit for only 30... that week should actually be 99,999,999,999. Of course, 3 and 9s are all very big in numerology, but you've got to do your own work figuring it out and find that for yourself. Now, for any of the Doctor Who fans, Baker's back in Lost Doctor Who special. 6 episodes. Apparently in 79, BBC were on strike and 6 didn't get broadcast or something. Well, they're coming back. The thing with Doctor Who, there's a lot that gets put out in Doctor Who that many won't see. But when you start reading between the lines, you can see so much in there. In fact, there was one season about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, where it's down for 12 episodes, and they actually only put either 6 or 7 out in the end. And I think you'll find that's because of the other 5. They put too much they'd given you too much information, and they were worried that you were going to wake up and realise what was going on, and so they cut them. But Doctor Who's very interesting in that particular area. Now, if you were paying attention to when I put the first picture up there of this paper, right down the bottom, did you see the barcodes there? Now, you've probably heard that encoded in the barcodes is 666, and it is. As you can see from this here, the 2 lines at the beginning, the 2 lines in the middle, and the 2 lines at the end. So it's not hidden. It's there in your face. They're actually longer than the other lines. And if you look at this barcode up there, you'll see that where the 6 is, it shows you it's them 2 lines. So hidden in it's not even hidden, in your face, in every barcode is 666. So if you ever doubted it, now you know. End of automatic fines for late tax returns. Hundreds of thousands of people will be let off immediate 100 fines for filing their tax returns late under plans to be unveiled next week by the Treasury. And it goes on, blah, blah, blah. We're going after the big boys. No, they're not. But you should be paying tax anyway. The cracks are already there. And let's face it, tax was one of the reasons was for World War I, to fund the war. And then, of course, after that, no one noticed, so everyone kept paying, and so they thought, actually, you know, we can rob them forever here. And that's pretty much what they've done. Ignore students' discomfort. Students should be made to feel uncomfortable. The incoming chairman of the Office of Standards has said he insisted that the new watchdog would not curtail free speech. So, and his name's Sir Michael Bobber. So if he's Sir, then he's in with the child rape gang. I think everyone's feeling uncomfortable with the corruption that is so in your face at the moment. And I could go on about that for a long time, but I've got a lot to do in there. There's loads of stuff out at the moment. So we'll move on. The scum. Hammond's tax raid on 10 million. Okay. As Meghan moves dogs to UK, that's a separate subject, but has Harry poked the question? Bookies stop, suspend engagement bets. More parasitical scum that we're going to have to pay, because it's only the poor that pay anything and pay to keep the rich rich. And the sooner we wake up to that fact, the sooner we get past that, the better. Daily Mirror. I'm a celeb. Why Rebecca Vardy's first hubby wants to see her go through hell. This is news apparently. Black Friday deals top there. Head alert. At last FA launches probe into link between heading footballs and dementia. Well, in the 60s, maybe, because the balls were bloody heavy then, but nowadays the dementia, besides, is caused by aluminium, chemtrails, drink cans, beer comes in aluminium now rather than wood as it used to. So it's the toxic poisons they put us through that cause all this shit. 10p. Engelbert Humperdinck. My wife, that's not his real name by the way, it can't be, because that's, I'm sure it's not anyway. My wife's cruel battle with Alzheimer's. Funny that, isn't it? So it's aluminium and whatnot. Coconut oil and a better diet. Interesting on the just next to that though, NutriBlend for just 28 quid. If you're into smoothies and that sort of thing, if it is for that price, that's damn good. Main headline. Hope for a cancer cure. Blood taken from patients who made miracle recovery. Maybe they changed the diet. Maybe they were taking cannabis oil. Maybe they decided to alkalize the body. Maybe they started following the Joanna Budwig protocol. Maybe they got hold of the Bob Beck device. Turmeric and black pepper. Oh, there's just so many cures out there if you do your research. Again, don't believe a word I say. Do it yourself. Check it out yourself. Make your own mind up. Cure yourself. And the picture. Madness. Mother wants ban on Sleeping Beauty over inappropriate kiss. It's not madness at all. It's spot on. If you've watched Sleeping Beauty, just off topic slightly there. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Remember that? No, you don't, because it's now, and apparently always has been, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. But that's a side note. Made by Disney, well-known paedophile company. The subliminal stuff they put in all their videos is scary until you start seeing it, and then when you see it, it's like, oh my. And they've been brainwashing our kids, and then you wonder why some grow up to be sexual deviants. It's because we've been programmed. Metro. Molly, the truth about me and AJ. Don't know what that's about. Date rape, devil dust alert for clubbers. So some sort of drug that they've been working on. They've now perfected it so much that they just drop a bit in your drinks and they can take you to wherever and do whatever. So be careful there. FT. Now right at the top at the orange bit there, sexual harassment. Nothing will now stem the rightful anger of women. More divide and conquer, men and women, we're all one at the end of the day, even those parasitical scum that are causing the problems. But then again, we're all here to learn a lesson, as a friend of mine would say. And we've got to come back and keep reliving this shit until we learn it. Well, those that don't learn it. Hammond and May show united front. Well, of course they do. They're both a pair of parasitical scum that are in it together. But you know, it's the age-old divide and conquer that they always use, and it's worked so far. They still get through even now. But thankfully, you lot are seeing through it more and more. Centrica, the biggest company on the planet that most have never heard of, rings profit warning over US woes and UK collective switch. Shares suffer worst one-day fall. Trading update disappointing. Dividend threatened. Now, when you go in to read this, they own British Gas, by the way, and a lot more. But it's going on. They're blaming it on the 1/8 increase that they made, 12.5% on bills. And it mentions the domestic market. If your home isn't commercial, which most aren't, even if you're running a business from your home, it's still not a commercial property. You just might be running from it. Non-commercial properties should not, under their own rules, regulations, statutes, acts, pay for gas or electric. It's only commercial premises that are supposed to pay. But they've got away with it for so long, and you've been paying for so long, they work on the presumption you must be a commercial premises, because why else would you pay? Especially if you knew that you didn't have to. Again there, down in the bottom left corner there. Thames Water to close its Cayman subsidiaries. Thames Water is to close its Cayman Islands subsidiaries following months of pressure over its opaque corporate structure. The utility has also named Ian Merchant, former head of power company SSE, to lead a review of its governance and executive pay. Thames Water paid no corporation tax over the past 10 years while paying dividends of a hell of a lot between 2006 and 2015, according to FT research. So the corporation Thames Water paid no tax whatsoever, but you've had to pay for the water that they poison, by the way. It's called fluoride, chlorine, whatever else they're putting in. But they do tell you this. And if you don't do your research and realise that chlorine and fluoride are poison, in fact, fluoride is the main ingredient in rat poison. But hey, if you're paying for your water, again, it's only corporations that are supposed to pay for water, not for private hovels. Jobs growth and factory orders reach 17-year high in booming Eurozone. Ah, so it's booming in Europe. However, even in their own bullshit papers and on the news, that's anything but news, they're telling you that there's riots here and there's all sorts of stuff going on. Chaos, in fact. Chaos, because they like to bring order out of chaos. Oh, we better not leave Europe then, have we? If it's booming over there. That's what's behind the headlines there. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.